Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of American Horror Story Double Feature Episode 9, the second to last installment. And this is one where Ryan Murphy, you be trying a lot of different things, you and the writers here. You are throwing everything at the wall.
Yeah, and not everything was sticking like it was sticking to Cal's face. That
Listen,
last scene with that baby sticking to his face. Oh
I
boy.
I should have seen it coming because they've been doing all that tentacle nonsense in the theme song all season and we hadn't seen any of it in a little while. But I was just thinking here to myself, okay, something probably is going to be happening that's weird with this alien hybrid baby, but I did not anticipate that.
No, I wasn't really anticipating it either. Overall, there were some things that I liked about this episode, but there were some things that are just not working. And there's only one episode left, and
Yeah,
it just feels like this part of this feature,
yeah.
double feature, which is 4 episodes, and we'll talk about that too, because this is kind of nonsense. It just isn't working. Part of these episodes are working, and then part of these episodes are just not finding their footing.
Here's the analogy I would think of here. I enjoy baking a lot, and so let's say I'm gonna put in some muffins in the oven here, and they're supposed to cook for like 20 minutes. Who doesn't love a good muffin? But
Are they going to stick to my
well,
face?
here's the problem. Okay, they're not going to stick to your face. However, I'm going to take them out about 5 minutes early because I'm going to be really impatient and I'm going to be like, these are good enough. And then I'm going to give them to everyone. It feels like,
Is that what this episode was for you?
Yes, they put this idea of aliens in the oven, but they got impatient with it. They were just like, okay, this is good enough. And so we're just serving it to us. And you've got like some like half-cooked concoction that has a couple of good flavors, but just doesn't feel right.
All right, before we get too much further into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will be back here for the finale coming up next week. Plus, on Friday, this Friday, October 15th, You on Netflix is going to be dropping, and we are going to be doing an episode a day for until they're done. And also on Sunday, Succession is back. So if you've been watching that, we're also watching that, and we're going to have new reviews up every Sunday evening.
You are going to want to watch.
All right.
Okay,
It was also Matt's birthday yesterday. So go head over to our Instagram, Matt and Jess TV. We've got a bunch of pictures up there.
Okay, where do we start with this nonsense of an episode?
Listen, the first thing I actually want to start with is Ryan Murphy. I know you watching this video. So listen, you cannot call this season a double feature because I'm really feeling like you do not understand what a feature is and what two of them means because a double feature is two full-length movies. So a double feature for this should be two full-length seasons, not 4 episodes. This part of this double feature, these 4 episodes, it really feels like what we saw with Murder House when it came back in American Horror Stories. It was like 3 episodes put together, and it was kind of like, okay, it was a decent story, but there just isn't enough time. This is just a tiny little story. This isn't a feature. So now I'm off my soapbox, but like, Ryan, man, come on. If you're going to call this double feature, like, I legit thought we were going to get 2 full seasons back to back to back to back.
Here's my idea here. Let's take your soapbox and we're gonna row on that soapbox. It's gonna become a boat over to Neil McDonough Island because I love Neil McDonough. This may not even be an island thing. Everybody should love Neil McDonough. And like, he's so good. But you guys are not giving him the time and the material to really work with here so that he can really deliver an exciting story that is worthy of a double feature because his story, to me, is the best part of everything that is going on here.
Absolutely. It is the best part of everything that's going on. It's, cool to see these real life people in a fictional way, seeing Marilyn Monroe. We saw her get taken out as this, oh, we all know what happened to Marilyn Monroe in real life, but
Yeah.
now it has to do with her speaking out on the aliens and everything she knows about it. So she's got to be taken care of. It's interesting to see some of these things play out. Everything that was happening with Mamie and Ike's wife, and how he was sort of blackmailed into signing this treaty with the aliens, giving them Area 51. There was a lot of really cool stuff that was happening.
Let's talk about Valiant Thor, because, hello, I am Valiant Thor. I am here now to talk about it. It's my value. You're all very, very welcome. I don't even know if that's good. But okay, see, what I find interesting about this character, I know, shout out to all the Cody Fern fans out there, but they kind of based this on a real dude. Like, I mean, we did some research on this the past few days, and there's at least like an urban legend that has been out there for decades about this dude named Valiant Thor who went to the White House decades ago and claimed that like he was part of a group of people from Venus. And this really just felt like the writers for the show being like, give me a name of someone affiliated with aliens from the past, and we're just gonna do totally our own thing with it. But this character was bizarre, and I guess still it's an interesting idea of like, I am now the representative of all of the aliens. I am going to liaise relationships between the two.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved Valiant Thor. I thought that whole having somebody that is there to be this liaison was really cool. I loved that Mamie ended up being with Valiant Thor, and then we saw Ike faint and wake up in the morning, and I was like, oh no, they're not going to make this like it was a dream. I love that right away. Mamie was like, oh no, this wasn't a dream. Sorry for your life. This actually happened. And you've done this to me so many times. We're even now. It's all good.
I just gotta say with the name Valiant Thor, are you overcompensating for something?
Okay,
all right.
Not according to Mamie.
Yeah, Mamie seems pretty good with Valiant Thor. I can't believe I'm saying it. I got to. She's liking Thor's hammer quite a bit at the moment. All right, we're gonna move right along now.
Oh my god.
And we're gonna talk. No, I like the Valiant Thor stuff a lot. It's just kind of a bummer. It's like, okay, you guys got Cody Fern for an interesting role, and you don't introduce him until the penultimate episode of the season.
Yeah, then we get into the present stuff, which is the part of the show that I have not really been enjoying. I feel that they have not given enough time to these four for me to care about them at all. I said in the last video, say it again, I am Team Alien. They can have all the babies and like just take over the earth, because I want to be invested in these four, but I just am not. And the one thing that I am now extremely worried about, and I was a little worried last episode, but I am getting more worried this episode, that these four people that I do not care about, that I do not believe could break out of Area 51, are going to break out of Area 51. And these are going to be the people that do it decades and decades later, that they are the heroes that make it out.
I agree with a lot of this. This is the only way this will make sense to me, is that we are going to be in a situation here where, do you remember when there was that viral story about everyone like Naruto running into Area 51? Maybe that's happening at the same time that these four, people are going to try to break out. And maybe it's just a perfect coincidence that the Naruto runners end up saving the day for, Troy and company here.
Oh, please. Just, after this last, half season with the whole black pill, it was like, great season, great season, great season. And then the last 20 minutes were kind of like, what are you doing? What are we watching? I don't understand. You just can't stick the landing. So I'm pretty worried, because it feels like that's where we're going. But, I mean, it is still, horror. And typically in horror, somebody will get away, but not everybody. There's usually a bit of a win still for the bad guys. So I'm kind of hoping Team Alien.
They're at least doing a good job of making these aliens still kind of terrifying. Like, just what happened to just Troy's alien baby right in front of him? Like, that was rough. I'm not gonna lie. That whole sequence was tough to get through.
Yeah, that was really tough.
And then we have The moon. The moon. What is there to say about the moon?
Okay, this just felt like Ryan Murphy wanted to throw this moon theory in here that we all have heard over the years, that it was fake, that it was a soundstage, that it was directed by Stanley Kubrick. Okay, that one may not be a theory that's out there, but it is now. But there's been a theory that's been swirling around for decades now. I think he just wanted to put this in here because it truly didn't feel like it was needed. It didn't really feel the way that it just straight up started with Neil and Buzz sitting in a bar when they are supposed to be on the moon and they're incognito with a hat on. I was kind of like, how is the government going to allow them to go to the bar? It's just not going to happen. Even with their disguises, it was just never, I couldn't believe it right from the get-go. It's just like, oh, I recognize those two guys. They're supposed to be on the moon, but they're sitting in this bar. I just, no. So they lost me right away, like immediately.
Listen, the only person who can put on a hat and be instantly incognito is apparently perfect Utah and everybody. Joe Goldberg, because he apparently puts on a hat. Nobody ever detects him ever. But no, this whole thing was just so ridiculous. And sometimes with American Horror Story, we can all get on the ride of ridiculousness and kind of just enjoy it. But yeah, the Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong stuff was so out of left field. And if they were going to do the whole moon landing was stage stuff, I still think there were probably more fun things they could have done with it. I guess the most extreme thing they did was they decided to have Cal give birth on the moon soundstage, and that's when the alien was sucking his face out. It's like, okay, this is like maybe a 4 out of 10 when you guys could have come up with something that was like an 8 out of 10. Like, I want a full-fledged battle sequence with the aliens and the humans if you're gonna use this soundstage. Just go full ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, it was just, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, and it's like the stuff with Calico. It's like she seems like an interesting enough character, and yeah, it's intriguing that she's been there for, I guess, decades on end, but we spent this time getting backstory for her, and no offense to the Calico character or anything, it's like, we're already using one part of the episode to live in the past. We're already getting all these flashbacks. We need to actually have some driving force in the present. So either cut that down or, and I'm not saying this because American Horror Story needs to go crazy on the episode lengths again or anything, but just make the episodes a couple minutes longer because I don't feel like we really moved forward all that much here.
I agree. I understand that they want to use the Calico character more, but I didn't need a backstory. What I actually need, and I need to learn about these 4 people that have been abducted, that are giving birth. These are supposed to be the 4 people that I'm supposed to be invested in, that are the heroes, I guess, of this, that I'm supposed to be rooting for in this. I just don't know anything about them. There just isn't nearly enough information, and time is being put towards Calico, who is, a cool character, but this isn't the person I'm supposed to be kind of rooting for. But I am, because she's Team Alien, and I'm learning more about the aliens and what they're here for than I am about these 4. And it is possible that this is Ryan's plan, that I am supposed to be invested in the aliens and I want to see them succeed. And that's why we got Calico's story more so. That, she's not necessarily an alien, but she also Team Alien like me. So is that where we're supposed to be landing? I'm not sure if it was done by design or accident, because sometimes Ryan Murphy falls into things.
I hope it's being done by design, just because it would make for a more interesting ending at this point than those 4 being heroes. Because, yeah, they're so replaceable. And, I'm not saying I want to be on American Horror Story pregnant with an alien baby or anything, but, you could pluck me and put me into this episode. You could put you into this episode.
No, don't drag me into this. No. I do not volunteer.
You could put any of us.
Me.
in the comments, you guys are volunteering the commenters
Oh my
now.
goodness.
You guys can go in and be one of these people, and
I'm sorry, commenters.
it would have the same effect because we know nothing about these people. Like, it's just, they just are so, like, they're almost just like full red shirts at this point, and they've been around for episodes on end. That shouldn't be the way it is.
I don't know anything about Kendall except that she slept with the professor. I
Yeah.
don't know anything about these characters. Like, they were given in the premiere like each like one quirky weird story that no one can really relate to except a small handful of people, and then away we go. And now we're here where 3 episodes in I still don't care.
There's only one Kendall in the TV world I care about, and their last
I
name is
know.
Roy, and it's coming on Sunday. Okay, that's I think we give ourselves an A+ for the plugs in this
Yeah, that's
episode.
pretty good.
All right,
Pretty
well,
good.
let's hear from you guys. What did you think about American Horror Story Double Feature Episode 9? Are you higher on this episode than perhaps we are? What do you think is going to happen in the finale? Give us your theories, your thoughts. Do you like Valiant Thor? Is he a compelling... I really shouldn't do this impression if I don't even know if it's good. I don't even really remember what he sounds like. But anyway...
It's pretty close.
All right. There we go. Well, give this video a like, subscribe for more. Thank you, guys. We'll see you here next time.